Welcome to the Lawson Brothers podcast, episode 1, first take, no edits. Braden's in the background.
What's up, Braden?
We have no plan. There's two taglines for this. The first tagline is Braden's official tagline, and it's iron sharpens iron, which came from the Bible.
It did. The New Testament.
No. Are you for real?
I am for real.
Oh, goodness.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Proverbs, dude. Proverbs 27.
I'm pretty sure it's in the New Testament, too.
It's not. It's not.
We're being real.
Are you
right
for
now.
real?
Huh?
I can't tell if you're being serious.
Am I?
We just talked about
It's up to you if I'm being for real or not.
Look it up.
All right, hang on. We can't even get through the taglines before we've got to go to the Google here. All right, I'm the Google or the Bible, one or the other. Let me show you real fast, Sam. Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron, and so one man sharpens another.
That's true.
Proverbs would be in which side of the Bible?
The old one.
There you go.
The old one.
But it all matters. It's all important.
You are right.
So
you're right.
As is normal.
It's a great start, dude, to this podcast.
Iron sharpens iron is the official tagline. The unofficial tagline, and what we just saw is evidence of this. The only thing we know is that we don't know anything.
Don't know anything.
We don't know anything.
I do know that much.
There you go. There you go. So as we start, we're just going to do a little intro here, and I'm going to try not to say or other things like that are filler that need to be cut out. Question for you. How did we get here? How did you get in this room? How did you get here today?
Yeah. Braden, I think 2 weeks ago, just randomly was like, hey, we're going to do a podcast and y'all two are going to be on it. Because we had just finished up a conversation, kind of reflecting about some of the stuff happening at Pinewood, I believe. And afterwards, he just I think he just brought it up to us that we're going to do a podcast together. And wanted it to be just something really natural that people would listen to, and we'd cover good stuff, but just kind of be real, talking to one another. Yeah, and that's how we're here today.
Cool.
I think
that's not quite what I meant when I asked that question. Good answer to the question. That is how we got here. But like, how did we get here in this room? Tell us a little bit about yourself in 30 seconds. Give us Sam's story in 30 seconds.
The first aspect of character development to this podcast is for you to understand that 30 seconds for me to say anything is such a small amount of time. So here we go. July 22nd, 1999, Easley, South Carolina. Grew up from Pickens, lived in Pickens and went to school there. Go Blue Flame. Blue, not Boo Flame. Go Blue Flame.
And flame, not flames.
Flames, not flames.
Blue's flame.
It's singular.
Singular.
Yeah, very much so.
Flame.
Take a lot of pride in that. It's one flame.
We're going to come back to that at the end, actually.
Okay, sweet. All right. But no, went to North Greenville after high school. Graduated in 2021, studied music there. Loved it. Had a lot of good relationships that I built there. And along the way, this is so weird. 30 seconds is like going down in my head. Been doing music for a long time and love it, and love getting to see people experience Jesus. And so jumped into serving the church during college, and it's just worked out to where I think God's made it clear that that's what He's got me doing right now. And from the church that I just came from, First Baptist Summerville, Upstate Church. Shout out Upstate Church. Love y'all and everybody up there very much. Just wound up at a place this last summer where got some calls from some people here on staff, and
shout out to Braden Kirshner and Eddie Sayetta. Need to get Eddie on the podcast.
Oh man,
That'd
soon.
be fun.
Very soon.
Eddie can just tell stories for the entire time.
I would just want to listen the whole time. I wouldn't want to open my mouth at all.
I would love that.
I would listen and I would laugh.
There you go. Hey, well, real quick, tell us about your relationship with Christ. When did you give your life to Jesus?
Yeah. I grew up learning about Him and hearing and seeing a lot of people model their faith for me, and made a decision around, I think, age 7 summertime, springtime, to start asking some questions for myself, and decided to follow Jesus. And I was baptized by Reverend Gerald Roper. You remember Pastor Roper?
Absolutely.
And that was at Sakona Baptist Church in Pickens.
Yep.
And really, I mean, from then, middle school through high school, college, I'm 23, man. It's just been a journey every day of.
I'm 23, man. You said that like you're so old.
I relearned. No, I'm saying it.
Sorry, keep going.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Every day I learn how much I need Jesus. And that gets exposed in a lot of ways, whether it's imperfection, whether it's, seeing somebody else experience Jesus for the first time. It makes it really fresh and alive. Or, sometimes life just has a way of putting you, I wouldn't even say life, I would say God has a way of beautifully orchestrating our lives to where we come back to Him.
Yeah.
And He uses a lot of things to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, man. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give you a chance to share a little bit about yourself, so that as we kick off this podcast, our friends and listeners know who they're listening to. So obviously Sam is my little brother. I'm 7 years older than him.
Little bigger brother.
Whatever.
Little bigger.
Yeah.
Little taller.
Taller than I am. It's a sore spot, but
Better looking.
That's a matter of opinion. So I was born 1992. Just turned 30 this year. Grew up, like Sam said, in Easley, Pickens, that area, about half an hour from Clemson, in the upstate of South Carolina. Graduated high school 2010. Went to Wofford College. Go Terriers. T-Dogs.
T-Dogs, baby.
T-Dogs.
Maybe on three, everybody who's listening or watching can do this. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
T-Dogs.
little T-Dog sign with your hands, but not intimidating at all. Terriers not intimidating, but we had a good time.
Y'all were good too.
We were good.
Y'all were really good.
Had a chance to play some football there, be involved with FCA. Majored in history, minored in business. Went right into youth ministry out of college. Went back to Pickens, to my home church that I grew up in. With Gerald Roper, was the interim pastor at that point in time when I got there. Big O was leading music. Big O, I love Oliver Neely so much. Big O would come in the morning after his morning breakfast round. He'd go to McDonald's and Hardee's and maybe one other place before he came to church, just make the breakfast rounds. Then he would go to his office for what he called his prayer time. And if you interrupted his prayer time, you woke him up. He'd be back in his office, back in the choir suite, laid back in his chair. Big O was the man.
And he also rocked like the latest Chevrolet truck.
Always.
As well.
Always. The man had more vehicles than
I don't know where he kept them.
Hey, so that's a topic maybe for next week. What if next week we talked about some of the greatest influencers in our lives?
That'd be huge.
The people that helped shape us into who we are. I think it'd be a cool thing to talk about. But on the spiritual side of things, I gave my life to Christ when I was 6. After Grandpa Lawson preached, actually, one night at Rock Springs, and
I actually don't know that I knew that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I will talk more about that maybe next week.
Okay.
But, spent a lot of years doubting, questioning, wondering, did I really understand? Did I really know enough at that point in time? And I don't know that it was really until college that I began to understand just how good God's grace is and how much I need His grace every day. And that was a game changer for me. But been in ministry now almost 10 years, which is hard to believe. I preached my first sermon when I was 16 years old.
How'd that go?
Man, it was awful. It was awful. We don't want to tell that story today. Let's tell that story another time too. We got to keep some content for later on, to keep people coming back. But at some point in time, I'll tell the story of my first sermon. I'll give a little preview. I was 16 years old, and I preached a graduate Sunday to give advice to our graduating high school seniors at the age of 16.
There's some situational irony happening right there.
Oh, man, you have no idea. You have no idea.
I'm thinking about it, though.
You were there. You don't remember, bro.
I don't remember it.
I actually found that manuscript, that sermon,
really?
A little while ago. I was cleaning out my office.
Could you read it?
Yeah, I typed it.
You typed it?
I was much more nervous those days. Much nervous. So I typed it.
I get much nervous lots of times.
Yep. So, that's how we got here.
Yeah.
I've been in Summerville 5 years. You've been in Summerville 5 months.
It is 5.
Is it 5? I think so. Yes.
August to January.
It's 5.
Jeez.
Summerville's a great place. Love it
is.
here. Love this church. Love what we get a chance to be part of. But enough about how we got here. Let's talk about where this is going to go. So this is, again, the intro to the podcast. We're making it up as we go. The only thing we know is we don't know anything.
Don't know anything.
And so we're going to need some help from our listeners. We're going to have a segment on this thing as we go on called Anything Goes.
Anything goes.
And what that means is we're going to give you guys a chance to ask us anything about the Bible. Obviously, we'd love that. About our lives, about what it's like working alongside your brother in a church setting.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes at Summerville Baptist, what it's like doing portable church out at Pinewood. Anything goes. Anything goes. So that'll be a segment. We'll have some flashback moments where we talk about moments from our childhood, tell stories about our sister who's not in the room to defend herself.
And who just shout out baby Lawson.
Shout out baby Lawson.
She just had a baby.
How about that?
And her husband's name is Chandler. Chandler is incredible too.
Yeah, we like him too.
Yeah,
we like him too.
We do.
So we'll talk about, we'll talk about marriage a little bit maybe. I don't know, you're not married, but I am.
Married.
I'll get Tara in here on the podcast, get Noah and Judah in here. I've got 2 little boys.
Y'all been around each other for a little while.
That's not a story for the day.
That's not a story? Okay.
Maybe like a February Valentine's Day podcast.
That'd be cool.
We'll get Tara in here and we'll talk about our story a little bit. That'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
And then we're going to do another segment called What in the World? And that's going to be fun because I'm going to ask Sam questions about current events, and we're going to see very clearly that the only thing we know is that we don't know anything. But the goal there is to kind of just talk through, like, how do we see the world? How to think.
Yeah.
That's really what we're talking about there, I think.
Well, so we do know we know 2 things now. We knew that we knew nothing before we started this, but now we know what we're going to call that thing, that segment. What do we need to know? What in the world?
Do you know? Are you sure?
Now I know 3 things is that I don't know what I thought I knew, but what I do know, overarching what I know is that I don't know anything.
Overarching? It's like overarching?
Is the H not silent?
Braden's in the back saying he says both.
I thought the H was silent.
Right, here's the question of podcast number 1. Is it overarching or is it overarching?
Because an arc and an arch are the same thing. Right?
Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point.
They are. An arch. Is it an arch or is it an arc?
Yeah.
Something to get. That's a question.
Somebody's screaming at their computer or their phone. The radio.
That's right. If you know the answer to this one, just comment, like, share, tell your friends to listen so they can help us answer. Is it an arc or an arch?
Please give us your opinion.
Overarching or overarching? I think I say both too.
I know that I've said both. The thing is, I don't know why I've said either one of them.
The great philosophical discussion of the day. That's probably enough of that. So the game plan on a normal Lawson Brothers podcast is going to be like 20 to 25 minutes. We want to kind of keep it in the realm of a commute. The time it takes you to get from your house to your office. So if that's you and you're listening to us in your car on the way to work, thanks for inviting us into your morning.
Yeah.
I hope you have coffee because that'll be by far the best part of the morning.
Yeah, the coffee.
The coffee.
Yeah.
But so that's the goal, 20 to 25 minutes. But so today, a little bit shorter, just kind of the introduction. Let's talk just for a second.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier the Blue Flame, the Pickens Blue Flame. So both of us had our dad as our high school principal.
Yeah.
Which was an experience in and of itself. We'll talk about that in some flashback moments in the future. But
Can of worms
opened.
Yeah.
Dad had something that he said every single day at the end of the day when he would come on the PA system to make the announcements. What did he say? Remember what he said?
Yeah, he said, have a great Blue Flame day.
Have a great Blue Flame day.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, that would be a really cool way to end this podcast for a lot of reasons. Number one, kind of a shout out to where we came from.
I do love that.
But also, it's interesting. So, like, as Blue Flame, Pickens Blue Flame, our biggest rival was the Green Wave, the Easley Green Wave.
That is
the
true.
Summerville Green Wave, but Summerville is the Green Wave. And obviously we got Summerville, we've got Fort Dorchester, Ashley Ridge, Pinewood. There are a lot of schools in this area, but we have both moved to a town known for the green way.
It's green, boy.
It's green. There's green everywhere.
Nah, it's green down here.
That was a little game changer we got down here. But so anyway, we'll go in this thing every single time with that statement. Have a great Blue Flame Day.
Yeah.
What did that mean? Like, because when Dad said that on the PA, everybody knew what he meant. What did that mean?
Yeah, there was a lot there in that one phrase, like a whole lot packed into that phrase. And Dad, he would also say, he had so many sayings. Doesn't he have so many sayings and like little pieces of wisdom?
That's what we should get on this podcast sometime.
It would be really cool.
That'd be fun.
It would be really cool.
That'd be wild.
Be hilarious.
It would be.
Also,
he's a wild card.
He is a wild card. You never know. He's also crazy good at voices.
That's what I'm saying.
And impressions. Do you remember the game we played on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Or was it Christmas night? It was Christmas night.
Yeah.
I'd never seen a few things. I'd never seen my mom try to impersonate anybody. Mama, shout out mom. Never heard Tara laugh as much. Tara was like purple in her face laughing.
What was that game called? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
It was Brady, you may know. It was some game where it was like you had to tell a joke. It was like a dad joke. It was like a bad joke, but you had to tell it in like a certain style. So like the joke could be like, I don't know, something stupid. But
okay, this is an example. In an Australian accent, I'm going to say a dad joke.
Like in an Australian accent.
How many laughs? Oh, gosh. All right, Joel Houston, Channel 8 Anal Joel. How many laughs does it take to, here we go. Kind of get in mindset and kind of go there for a second, okay? And it's like, how many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh?
I don't know.
Tentacles. 10 tickles.
Did you make that up?
No, that's a real dad joke. It's actually my favorite. Second to this one. Yeah, I love telling dad jokes because he laughs at them a lot. You get it?
That's funny. That's
back to the Blue Flame Day.
Blue Flame Day.
Blue Flame Day. Yeah. So he would say, "Have a great Blue Flame Day."
Right.
But what it did was remind the students of the Blue Flame way.
There you go.
So
there's a Blue Flame Day.
Blue Flame Day,
which means
there's also a Blue Flame way.
What's the Blue Flame way?
Yeah. He would kind of break down three things. I think it's actually a Marine thing.
It might be.
I really think it
Braden
is.
would know. Braden was a Marine.
Integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all you do. So, it's really incredible, those three things. I'll say it again. The Blue Flame way is this: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all you do. I can't tell you how many times I replay that in my head.
Yeah.
It's just motivating. Integrity talks about your character, right? Service talks about how you see other people. So it's internal, then it's external. And then the last one's like excellence in all you do. That's the standard. And that's a biblical standard. That's a Bible concept there.
Absolutely.
It's so good though. Such a good reminder, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
So, Braden, the Marines, how did the Marines use those three statements?
There are 14 leadership traits, and what he did is he pulled from a few and made three.
Combined them. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So he's
14.
He's hijacking Marine content for a bunch of high school students. I love that.
But it worked, though.
Hey, it's good stuff. I did not know until today that was pulled from the Marines. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did you know Braden was a Marine?
I did know that. I want to hear some, I've never asked, you don't ever just want to go up to veterans and ask for stories, but Braden, I would totally love to hear some stories.
Okay. That's podcast content.
That's some great podcast content.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So service before self.
Yeah.
Integrity.
No. Integrity first.
I thought you said it was service first.
Integrity first. Service before self.
Okay.
Excellence in all you do. Inward, outward.
Gotcha. I'm following.
How?
So, what was the integrity statement? Give me that one more time.
Yeah, integrity first.
Integrity first. That's
first.
The statement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just point blank.
Integrity.
Be somebody of character.
There you go.
Yeah.
Integrity first.
Integrity first.
Service before self.
Service before self.
Excellence in all that you do.
Yeah.
I love that. So when we say at the end of this podcast, have a great Blue Flame Day, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Go be a person of integrity who does the right thing simply because it's the right thing.
Yeah.
Go be a person who sees other people as greater than yourself, I just hit the table, who's willing to give generously of yourself.
Compassionate.
Compassionate.
Is another word.
Yeah. That's Philippians 2, right? That Jesus in humility didn't think of himself, as he was willing to lay aside his status and his glory in heaven to take on skin and bone and walk among us and become a person like us to show us what it looked like to be a human as God intended.
Yeah.
And that's what Paul says, have this mind among yourselves. Yeah, I love that. Service above self. And then the last one was excellence in all that you do.
Excellence in all you do. Which, to take it to a biblical idea of developing and stewarding what you have.
Yep.
Everybody's gifted with a lot of stuff, but we've got to be students of our own gifts so that we can steward them and develop them, because excellence, Colossians 3:17, whatever you do, word or deed, man, do it to the glory of God.
Shout out to Randy Harling. That's his favorite verse.
Is it?
I say he signs like most of the things that he signs. If he writes a verse in, that's the verse.
Is it? Wow.
Colossians 3:17.
It's applicable to everything. Isn't
Absolutely, literally.
Yeah,
that's what it's talking about.
That's what it's talking. I love it. No, you're, man. I'm like, ready to run through a wall, bro.
Wherever you're at today, wherever you're listening from, if we were able to channel those three things and the power of the Holy Spirit. What incredible things could be possible. Integrity first, service above self, excellence in all that you do. So with that said, Sam, close us out for the day and tell them what kind of day should they have? Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, have a great Blue Flame day. There you go. Thanks so much for listening to the Lawson Brothers podcast, episode 1. A lot more content coming. In the meantime, if you enjoyed today, like this, share this with your friends, leave us a comment or a review. Subscribe. Yep. Save it, download it, wherever you listen to your podcast or on YouTube. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see where this stuff goes. And we'd love to hear your feedback, too. You can email bkirshner@summervillebaptist.org with any comments or questions. Careful. It's on the internet. He can find it on the internet. It is on the internet. That's true. You can find it on the internet. And remember one more thing, James. What's that? If there's anything that we know, it's that we don't know anything. Have a great Blue Flame day. See ya.